We saw this matchup a few weeks ago between the Patriots and Wildcats. It went in the Patriots' favor. I believe they won by 14 points, but a lot of praise coming from McElveen over on this Wildcat side.
Starting lineups being introduced here at West Ashley High School. And the energy in this building, West Ashley student section out in full force. A wild into the girls' game just before this came down to a last-second three. And Fort Dorchester, their starting line was being introduced. Region tournaments for these two teams start next week. Fort Dorchester will play Berkeley next Wednesday, and West Ashley will be at Wando High School in Mount Pleasant next Wednesday. So this one is all about pride here tonight, Natalie.
And I asked McElveen, is it hard to keep your guys really focused on the next game when playoffs are right around the corner? And that is exactly what he said. He said it is very difficult. They know that they of course, are destined to make a pretty deep run in the playoffs. So keeping those guys focused, keeping them locked into the next game and not the next game, it's been a little challenging for this squad recently, but he knows that they are ready to compete tonight.
Well, and if you're ever going to have a lineup that's going to step up in the postseason as the regular season ends, and they know it's time to turn it up a notch, it's a lineup that starts 5 seniors in the starting lineup.
Exactly. So this is a group of guys that not only are talented, athletic, but they also love and have a deep affinity for each other because they've been playing with each other for several years. This is a very talented group, like I'd mentioned, but chemistry is something that coaches, it takes several years for them to really grasp, but this group has done it almost instantly because they've been together for so long.
Fort Dorchester and West Ashley meeting for the second time in 2 weeks. Fort won back on January 29th in North Charleston, 60-46. Patriots used a 21-8 advantage in the second quarter in that basketball game to pull away. Other 3 quarters were pretty even, and Thomas McElveen saying just we need to have that one big quarter to pull away in a basketball game. All it takes is one. We can play even the other 3. Ben Snyder felt like his team's legs got a little heavy. A couple of turnovers, and those 6-0 spurts, those 8-0 spurts really cost the Wildcats in that one.
And McElveen said just being away from their home court, and they knew that this place was going to be energetic. You just saw the starting lineup for the Wildcats, so you know that this place is hyped. There's a packed student section over here, so they know that they are up for the challenge tonight being on the road here in West Ashley. So that's just another component of really keeping emotions in check, staying focused, and really finishing this regular season strong.
Tim Cahill, Rodney Mack, David Green are our officials, and the final installment of QFS Transportation High School Hoops driven by Cruz Chevrolet is underway here at West Ashley High School. Omar Green controls it to start for the Patriots. A little bit of a zone look for West Ashley on the first possession, sinking into that 2-3 and trying to make this Fort Dorchester team that doesn't shoot the ball necessarily well from the outside make some outside shots.
And you're already seeing a second chance opportunity for the Patriots there. That was going to be something that's key for the Wildcats staying in this one, is limiting those first chance opportunities to just that.
Lee forced the turnover, and Fort Dorchester with their second possession of the basketball game. Lee had to come off his foot. And you can see West Ashley really sagging into that zone. Lob down low. Nice catch and put in by McKelvey. Just too big on that baseline for Jaden Simmons. And McKelvey, a nice job of just sealing Simmons high, controlling it, and then fighting him off the basket.
And great pass, too, by Omar Green. Really put it in perhaps the only spot that his guy, McPherson, could go up there and grab it and put it home.
I said McKelvey. It was actually McPherson.
That's okay.
Those free throw sponsored by Will Lou Gray Opportunity School, a rich tradition of individualized learning. Man-to-man defensively for Fort Dorchester, 3-0 lead here early on. Smalls works with it, backdoor cut, nice lead. Good finish by Jaleel Porter, and that's the first basket for West Ashley.
And Porter saw Daniel Lee not watching him, but watching the ball. So really great taking advantage of that backdoor cut. This is a team that is extremely disciplined, has great basketball IQ. That's one of the things head coach Ben Snyder had mentioned to me. So look for them to really stick with what they know, and that's going to be their bread and butter tonight.
Daniel Lee's jumper short, but another offensive rebound already for Fort. 3 comes off short again, and another board. That time it was McKelvey. West Ashley's going to have to get on the boards. For Dorchester already with 3-4 offensive rebounds.
And that's definitely one of the keys to the game for the Wildcats, is limiting those second and third chance opportunities. One, to prevent points from getting on the board, but also you get tired after these long defensive possessions.
Ball loose, knocked around a couple of times, and finally tied up. And the arrow will favor the Wildcats. West Ashley able to take advantage of a little bit of an overplay, aggressive defense from Fort. Nice finish by Porter at the front of the rim. There's the press, a little bit of a 1-2-2 full court press. Wildcats need to get it across. Almost got our first action of the game.
I was going to say, that would have been a first.
Long, wild 3 up and on its way by Clyburn, and it's a couple of feet too long, and Fort collects. Little nerves in that shot.
Yeah, I think that's definitely it. This is a guy that loves looking for his shot, and he knocks him down too.
And a whistle underneath as Jaden Sanders and McKelvey, excuse me, really banging on that low block. Doesn't take long to watch Fort, and you can see where their physicality and their athleticism would wear on you over 32 minutes.
Right.
Jumper from the top of the key's too strong, and the Wildcats can push. Porter couldn't finish. Rebound collected by Mungeon, and a foul called.
And these are those instances that West Ashley's really going to need to take advantage of. You can't push the ball very often in transition against this Patriots team because they are also so athletic, so quick getting back. So when you do have that opportunity to push the ball out, get it out, and get a chance for an easy 2, you're going to need to take advantage.
Nice look inside. The little bunny missed by Porter. Got a good look at it. West Ashley's had a couple of opportunities to score, and there are a few offensive possessions, just haven't finished, and their offensive foul as Clyburn held his ground.
Just coming in too quick. Yeah, I would not want to be caught in the path of a quick Omar Green heading to the basket. As he now takes a seat on the bench.
And West Ashley turns it over. Chauncey Capers makes his first appearance. He'll replace Green. Talking with McKelvey in the pregame, he talked about Omar Green. He says his nickname's Sleepy. Sometimes just isn't fully into it, but says he's got the highest upside of anybody on the floor for this basketball team. Yeah,
he's a guy that just looks very relaxed, kind of maybe too relaxed that you question if he's given it 110%, but then he can turn it on so quickly.
There's the athleticism from McKelvey. He went high to get it, but couldn't finish it, but a foul. And Clyburn called for the foul. Not a bad one there for the Wildcats. It's almost always a dunker, an easy finish for McKelvey. Clyburn just came in and said, well, we'll make you earn it.
Yeah, they're going to need to box him out, get him out of the paint, make him uncomfortable in there, because right now he is just way too comfortable, making his presence known down there, and head into the free throw line as a result.
Free throws brought to you by Will Lou Gray Opportunity School, a rich tradition of individualized learning. McKelvey rattles home the first.
And we've seen time and time again, teams, one of their aspects that they want to kind of target when they're looking at this Patriot team is limiting those second and third chance opportunities, but it's also limiting McKelvey's second and third chance opportunities because he knows how to rebound and really put a basket home.
Averages 10 points per game, 7 boards, leads the team in both. West Ashley around the zone. Clyburn a better look this time, too strong again. Rebound, put back on the backside. Jaleel Porter very active early.
He was just passing it to his friend down there. We'll give him the pass, not the air ball.
Porter's a running back. He's headed to VMI. Signed with the Cadets this year. You can see the athleticism. 1 point lead for Fort Dorchester. Lee may have gotten away with a shuffle of the feet. Couldn't get his own rebound. And then committed the cheapie in the backcourt. And now an official timeout for television. They missed it just before the whistle. They're going to go ahead and take it. Tight one early here at West Ashley. Fort Dorchester up by a point. 3:49 to play first quarter. If you're going to upset one of the top teams in the state, you got to do work. And West Ashley student section came ready to do just that.
It feels a little bit like a Saturday morning on College Game Day over here.
There's a whole lot going on down there in that student
There
section.
is a lot.
They are out in full force. Tight game early, low scoring. Thought we might see this. Both teams just so athletic and so active defensively. 5-4 for Dorchester with the lead by a point early. Did you consult with Thomas McElveen on his wardrobe and that jacket before he came in for this game today?
See, I should have, because I remember the last TV game we did with Fort Dorchester when they played Goose Creek, I believe 3 weeks ago. The man showed up stylish. He, of course, patriotic as ever, with his bright blue jacket, a red tie. I think he even rocked some red shoes the last time around too. But I kind of like this red jacket a little more maybe.
He's a producer's best friend because you can't miss him on that sideline in that
That
jacket.
is very true.
Foul underneath on Maddox Clyburn, his second. It's a little bit of foul trouble for West Ashley early. Brant Vasco will come in and try to give the Wildcats some minutes. Also in Caden Black for the first time, and there's just a 2, they say, as McKelvey's foot was on the line, but McKelvey now with 4 points in this game. He knocks down the jumper. Big man has a nice stroke.
And he likes that spot too. We saw him hit that a lot in their Goose Creek game 3 weeks ago. This isn't a team that puts up a lot of three-point shots too, but they'll find their two-point jumpers when they want to.
Jaleel Porter wanted to drive, and he waited and then put it in. Really strong finish there from the senior. He's kind of a wild card next week's tournament. The tip no good by Tavion McPherson, and West Ashley clears. Porter missed about half the season with a pretty serious football injury, so he's just now getting back to 100%. So far tonight, he looks it.
Yeah, this is a guy that's just as competitive as ever. He just simply hates to lose, so definitely a guy you want on your team. And you can really see that competitive spirit as he takes, what, 2-3 guys to the rim right there. Strong finish, too.
Fouls starting to stack up kind of quick in this one. 4 each for both teams. Could see a lot of free throws by the early part of the second quarter. Kara Smalls with his first touch. He's going to play college football next year at Benedict, the defensive end, signed to play there next fall. Porter looking to go to work, trying to give West Ashley their first lead, and does.
And if we do start seeing these fouls add up for both of these teams, we are even right now at 4-4, but when it comes to who's the better team to really deal with that foul trouble, it's definitely Fort Dorchester. Their bench is as long as it can get in terms of talent.
Fort still just continues to try and work that low seal down low. And McPherson can't finish. Patriots are getting some opportunities around the front of the rim, not capitalizing, and there's a steal. Joyner will push. And they'll call the charge.
That might be Joyner's second, I could be wrong. We'll have to see. This is another guy who loves looking for his shot. I mean, smart move, but an even smarter move by Mungeon getting in there in perhaps the last possible second, sacrificing his body.
Brandon Mungeon, another one of the many athletes in this basketball game, has aspirations to play college football. A lot of people feel like he can play quarterback at the next level. All low country basketball selection.
And it's cool seeing that quarterback becoming a point guard on the floor. You know, they just have some natural leadership abilities.
Porter gonna fire it up. Too strong off the back of the iron. And West Ashley can't build on this early 1-point lead.
And Caden Black, I appreciate the effort to sprint back to his paint, but I feel like he could have gotten that rebound if he stuck around. Maybe 2 more seconds down there.
Devin Geddes into the game for the first time, asking for it on the baseline. Lee, the step back. Too strong, rebound tipped, and will belong to West Ashley. As they said, Geddes tried to root out Smalls underneath. Smart play by Smalls, knew he wasn't going to be able to collect it in bounds, and just tipped it.
And Geddes is not happy with that call, and I don't blame him, actually. It looked like he actually had the inside position. So I think McElveen's kind of pleading his case as well over there. But Geddes is your guy, especially when your players get into a little bit of foul trouble. He's the guy that comes in off the bench, really sets the tone, a big body out there. He'll go up for those boards, and most times he'll come down with them as well.
They've changed the call. So you
Oh,
saw it.
there you go.
You saw it exactly how they called it. They just pointed in the wrong direction. So that foul called actually on Smalls, climbing over top of Geddes, and Fort will have it underneath. Capers retreats, and he'll set the offense. A little bit of a 1-3-1, I still think, from West Ashley. Tipped on the baseline, Porter stole it, but couldn't stay in bounds.
And expect West Ashley to really alternate between that man, between that zone. This is the team that runs a lot of sets, a lot of different motions, and that's another reason why Snyder, he really praises his guys, especially those guys, those football guys that came in a little late in the year. They had a lot to learn just in terms of defense, offense, inbounds plays. So he's really proud of his guys, and although they don't have the record to necessarily show it at like the Fort Dorchester, who's 20-1, this is a team that's smart guys, talented guys, and they're really going to make a name for themselves soon.
Final minute of the first quarter, West Ashley up by a point. It was a big second quarter 2 weeks ago that propelled Fort Dorchester to a 14-point win. 3 on the way, comes up short from Davion Joyner, and a foul called in backcourt as Smalls collected the rebound.
And that time they're going to get Geddes, just getting a hand in there a little too late. McElveen saying, nope, come on. There's no point in fouling 90 feet from your basket.
And West Ashley will shoot the rest of the first half. Porter walked. Caught it and took off running. He saw some space but forgot to put the ball on the floor. So we'll see if Fort holds for a final shot. Ben Snyder gets a couple of fresh, quick bodies into the game. He sees that foul trouble could be an issue in this one. Wants to steal some rest for his guys, but he doesn't want to pick up a cheap foul here when in all likelihood his team's only playing defense for the final 20 seconds.
And I don't blame him to be going to the free throw line for the next 8 minutes. I mean, your game plan doesn't get any easier than that. Hey, just attack the basket.
Wild 3 from deep in the corner, and West Ashley eventually collects it. Junior Wilson with it in backcourt, nearly turned it over. Now needs to get it across. Tipped away from him, stolen, but it will only be a steal for Chauncey Caps to close out the first quarter. Low scoring, defensive struggle here early, but competitive just like we expected. West Ashley with a 1-point lead through a quarter. QFS Transportation High School hoops driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Tight went through a quarter here at West Ashley High School. West Ashley with a 1-point lead through 8 minutes. Zeke Beam, Natalie Spalla here courtside. Final edition of QFS Transportation High School hoops driven by Cruz Chevrolet this season. This West Ashley basketball team, Ben Snyder, first-year head coach. This team's just starting to come together. Jaleel Porter's a big reason why.
Exactly, and this is a guy that is definitely making a name for himself tonight. He's got all their 8 points, but a guy who's going to help them really get to their playoff run that they want to and know that they have the capabilities of getting to. He's a guy that has just right now really started to really get in his groove coming back from an injury, and a guy that you're going to want to have as healthy as possible when you do make it into the playoffs.
Good look at Ben Snyder there as we came out of break. First-year head coach, thirds coach in 3 seasons here at West Ashley High School, and he said basically had to go back and start from scratch, teach basketball basics to get this team kind of where they are now, and they're just now starting to come together, but they have good guard play, and they have a star that's starting to come of age, and this basketball team starting to take shape. Big three by Geddes to open the second quarter. Fort Dorchester retakes a 2-point lead, now trying to set the trap in the half court. Smalls to pull up, it's off too strong. There's Porter with another rebound.
This is a team, you can see how disciplined they are. They look to get every single guy in on the play. You don't really see a guy isolating and taking it to the basket when he's got a one-on-one opportunity. They like to get their guys involved, really swing that ball, get it inside, get it outside, and really take advantage of everything they can.
Geddes just a little too aggressive on running right into Brent Vasco on that screen. The big man's got a nice stroke.
He's making them know, too. Little celebration there to quiet this Wildcat crowd. But then he picks up a foul on the other end, so you don't want to see that.
I had Devin Geddes down as a junior, and Thomas McElvey goes, the low country is ready for him to be gone. Good football player, good basketball player. The low country is ready to see him no longer be in red and blue.
I believe it.
Porter off the dribble. Nice head fake, too strong off the glass. Kelvy, another strong rebound. Joyner pushes, draws the contact and put it in. Here's a little flurry from Fort Dorchester, 5 quick ones.
And this is the pace that Fort Dorchester really wants to play at. It's what they thrive at, and it's because that they can take advantage of a team that doesn't necessarily get back on defense at the pace that they should in order to stop them on offense. So we'll have to see. That's going to be another key for this West Ashley team, is limiting those opportunities for for the Patriots to get a quick bucket in the paint.
Nice find from Porter. Good stroke from Smalls, but it rattled out. Smalls got it. Nice feed from Vasco, and that one might have been good had it not gone. As McKelvey went up and through the hoop, but he put it in, and that ends the Fort Dorchester flurry.
And that's Brant Vasco getting in on that play. Got the rebound, found it for his guy, whose guy attacked the basket and was able to put it in.
Dorchester leads by 2, depending on which poll you look at. They're ranked 2, 4, or 8th in the state. Only one loss this season to Riverside out of Greer back in December. And McKelvey, a nice little stroke from 15 feet.
And I said it earlier, that's his shot. He loves those corner jumpers.
Porter can't make the catch.
And he shoots them from pretty far out. But I don't know. I don't think I remember him really being a three-point shooter. But hey, if you can make him in the paint from 15 feet out, then why not? It's a hard shot. Rattles in.
Yeah, McKelvey rattles one home there. Leads the team in points, rebounds, and block shots. At 22 and 9 in the last meeting between these schools. You can tell West Ashley really focusing on him right now.
They have good reason to with numbers like that.
Fort's matched his largest lead. Second quarter was the key quarter in the last meeting between these two schools. Three's off the mark. Nearly saved and quickly to it to collect it. There were 3 Wildcats standing, and flying to the ball was Marion Mitchell, and he drew the foul.
Just a great effort play by Mitchell there. You expect the play to be over, and all those Wildcats standing right there thought they had the ball, but no, here comes Mitchell.
Fort looking for its largest lead. Joyner gets it back. Shepard on the baseline. Wanted the no look to McKelvey, and it was tipped away. And a turnover by Fort Dorchester, stolen away by Porter. Mungeon, nice baseline pass, gets it to Porter. In traffic, left it for Mungeon, had it stripped away, stolen by Shepard. They are letting him play.
Great hands by Shepard.
McKelvey lucky to get that one back. Wanted to get us on the one-handed feed. Near the midway point of the second quarter. Really a low-scoring affair. 2 aggressive defenses and 5 athletes on the floor for both teams at all times. Just 2 athletic teams.
Exactly, but this is a team, what? It was 60 to 46 last game against each other?
I think the West Ashley zones slowed things down a little bit. Not that Fort Dorchester's not seen a lot of zone this season. Mungeon knocks it away. And that'll take us to our timeout. Tight one here in West Ashley. Fort Dorchester a 4-point lead. 3:57 to play in the second quarter. Ben Snyder and company hanging around. at West Ashley Gymnasium tonight. Seen a good one. Early second quarter, middle second quarter for Dorchester, a 4-point lead. Been a 1 or 2 possession game the entire time. Points are at a premium, Natalie.
They really are, and I'm trying to figure out why. I know you had mentioned this Wildcat zone kind of throwing a wrench in that Patriot offense, which they are used to putting up points pretty much every game so far this year. So it's been interesting to watch so far.
West Ashley staying in that zone. Where Dorchester kind of living on the perimeter. They keep trying to force it inside. They're finding some luck. But eventually a 3 needs to go down. Geddes has 1. And he's on the low block right now. They lob it to him. 4 defenders there. West Ashley really a nice job collapsing on the zone. And that is what can get Fort Dorchester in trouble. Already in the bonus, and you foul 45 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, I think Ben Snyder and company, they're onto a little something over here. Definitely a great job putting the zone together for sure. And the best way to really get a defense out of a zone is to shoot out of it. We haven't seen many shots, especially any three-point shots from the Patriots. It's not necessarily their style of play, so it'll have to be interesting to see if they continue with this zone.
They're going to wave that make off from Brandon Mungin. Might not have deserved it on the bank. And they're going to say the other way, say he stepped over the line.
Something you don't see very often.
I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, Rodney Mack on this near side pointed a couple of times. He's going to say Mungin stepped over the line on the free throw attempt. So they'll wave it off. That's just like a turnover.
And you see Snyder over there kind of reenacting, trying to figure out, hey, is he allowed to fall after he releases? Or does it need to hit the rim?
Davion Joyner running the point right now. One of the leaders on this Fort Dorchester basketball team, a Limestone football signee, and an offensive foul on Geddes. Maddox Clyburn excited.
And Geddes not excited. I believe that's his 3rd.
3 on Devin Geddes. Fouls really starting to stack up for West Ashley. A late horn. And I think they're going to make the substitute wait to come in. So Geddes is now on the floor with 3 fouls. And now some confusion.
Yeah, Geddes is definitely a guy using his size to his advantage, but when you're going in a little fast and hard like that, definitely not a good idea.
When you're talking anatomy of a major upset, a lot of free throw attempts, foul trouble, not capitalizing on opportunities, and there another foul 45 feet away. And Porter will go to the line this time, and it'll be 2 shots.
We've still got 3 minutes in this half. And I mentioned it earlier, when you have time on the clock and really all you need to do is get to the free throw line to get some points, some free points, just attack. You've got to imagine that's what head coach Ben Snyder is telling his guys. But in order to get those points, you got to make them, as we see Porter missing his first.
Ben Snyder, son of a coach, plays college ball at Grace in Indiana. And an offensive rebound. Both teams cold shooting, both teams getting after it on the boards. That 3 is off. And Fort will push. And Daniel Lee, more of a shoulder than it was a bump. That was a pretty good collision there. And Lee will shoot free throws. Well, neither team capitalizing at the line. Even though we're almost halfway through, you feel like both teams are trying to settle down and settle in a little bit. Lee rims off.
And we've seen it time and time again this year, is that a lot of the success that has come with this Patriots team is because they are so good at getting teams out of what they are usually great at. They make them uncomfortable. They make them do things that they're not used to doing, and that's why they've been so successful. But so far, the Wildcats have been really playing their own game, sticking with what they know and what they do, and they've been able to keep this one close.
Smalls, a great job to get free, and then I think he kind of was a little surprised at how open he was and left it short. little too tender with it. Winding toward 2 minutes to play in the first half. One of the top 10 teams in the state for Dorchester. State title aspirations. West Ashley trying to wreck their perfect record in the regular season in the region. Joyner, the step back. That's a big time shot right there.
It's a great looking shot.
Worked to get it and then made the tough jumper. Lunging into the front court, took it to the trap, then got away from it. Now Fort matches up man-to-man. They trap in that 2-2-1 full court, and then they fall back into the zone. That'll be a 1-2-2. Lunging, collects it on the baseline, and then lost it. Might be able to give Thomas McElveen the steal.
It was a great backdoor opportunity by Munjin, but let's take a look at Joyner. Nothing really happening on the offensive side for this team, but hey, if you're able to put a tough shot in, then that's a good way to really spark your team, maybe get some offense going from everyone.
Porter on the baseline, finds Smalls on the backside. He's too strong with it. Fort will push. Lee on the attack, can't get it to go, with an offensive foul.
Is that Clyburn's third charge?
I believe it is.
I think it's, yeah.
I think he's drawn 3, and I think he's been in 4 collisions, so his ice bath after the game will be well earned. Maybe not perfect position there, but because of the way Lee was attacking, kind of out of control, the official may have given Clyburn the benefit of the doubt.
I have to agree, yeah, word for word. Didn't look necessarily like he had 2 feet planted on the ground. Looked a little out of control himself, but hey, he sold it.
Kicked right to you. Final minute of the first half. West Ashley stifled Fort Dorchester defensively, but they have only 2 points here in the second quarter. Smalls with a 5-second count on. Munchen off the dribble. Good look for Black, and he knocked it down. Big bucket there for the Wildcats.
Huge bucket.
Kate.
We're getting very, very quiet on the offensive side for that team. They needed a big time bucket like that.
Caden Black, a 6'6" senior. Coach Ben Snyder saying that Black still very young physically and might have college basketball in his future. Still developing as a player, very talented, getting quicker laterally. Fort Dorchester with a miss. West Ashley hold for the final shot. Tried to take it to halftime as a 1-possession game against the number 2 team in the state. Munchen drew the contact, put it up, no. Small's tip will be too late. And we will go to the half with a 3-point game. Defensive and entertaining first 16 minutes tonight.
100%. You don't think so by looking at this low-scoring game, but definitely a very even matchup that perhaps we didn't expect, considering they played each other just 3 weeks ago and it was a 14-point difference. But hey, I'll take it.
Entertaining opening half here at West Ashley High School. The number 2 team in the state, Fort Dorchester, leads by a basket over West Ashley at the break.
If you run.
The man with the plan and a new office at Tanger in North Charleston, David Ayler, joins us now. We are giving out our Scholar Athlete of the Week, and this is the final week of games. Exciting. Now we've got to just pick a winner. These kids, always so good.
It's really tough, and I want to make sure I'm saying this on camera, that you have to be there this year when we look and determine who actually should get it, because really all of them should deserve it for everything they've done in the community, everything they've done in their school. I mean, these folks are all very much deserving of what all of them are going to get one way or the other, but one of them is going to get it from my office.
Well, the thing is, I'm getting invited now. Last year I wasn't invited, and there was cake involved, so yeah. I missed out on the good one, apparently.
And that was rude, but I'm not going to tell you whose fault that was. So, but you will be there this year.
Beautiful. Sounds good. The smartest kids we have, one of them is going to go home with that $2,500 scholarship. That's David Ayler from the Ayler Law Office.
Halftime here at West Ashley High School. The West Ashley students getting a much-needed break and a snack as they're staying active in this one. Wildcats trail number 2 for Dorchester 16-13 here at the break. Defensive struggle for these two. But an entertaining and competitive first half, and right now the unbeaten Fort Dorchester Patriots being given a run for their money by this West Ashley basketball team. Scholar Athlete of the Week, sponsored by David Ayler Law Offices. Davion Joyner from Fort Dorchester High School, a 4.1 GPA. Plays both football and basketball, all-state in football, and a very good basketball player. And he is headed to Limestone College to play football next year. And for West Ashley High School, Brandon Mungeon, honorable mention, all conference in football, 3.44 GPA, outstanding athlete, outstanding student. Helps with boxing, canned foods at Low Country Food Banks, does adopt a highway, and I must say, looks awfully dapper in that bow tie there.
I must agree. He's looking great with a great looking GPA to match, so, and a great night so far too.
Football Team Athletic Academic Award, just has all sorts of accolades. Outstanding young man. Outstanding basketball game as well. Patriots by 3. First half highlights come your way next. it's the final edition of QFS Transportation High School Hoops, driven by Cruz Chevrolet this season, and it is living up to its billing. Competitive first half, one of the top teams in the state. Fort Dorchester being given a run by West Ashley.
And points are hard to come by. Definitely a defensive matchup here tonight, but they do make for some good highlights when we do get some baskets. So let's take a look. It's definitely been the Porter show over at West Ashley. 8 points from him total, all coming in the first quarter too. There's that free ball from Geddes, getting in there as well, and Joyner making a name for himself as well tonight.
Yeah, the Fort Dorchester defense really set the tone in the second quarter. Held West Ashley to just 5 points in that second quarter, but defensively both teams held their own. Nice fadeaway jumper there by Davion Joyner, setting us up for an entertaining second half. A tight one here at West Ashley High School, 16-13. Fort Dorchester leads the second half. This next. Back on the Roper St. Francis halftime report, brought to you by Roper St. Francis Hospital, where experience matters. Fort Dorchester with a 16-13 lead at the half here at West Ashley High School. Thomas McElveen trying to urge his team to perfection. Unbeaten in Region 8 5A action. Again, their only loss of the season came back in December to Greer Riverside on a neutral floor. So many good basketball teams in the area. Cane Bay, Sumter, going to be factors next week. Dutch Fork and Lexington in the mid-state, 2 really good programs. Dorman's the #1 team in the state. In the Spartanburg area, of course, Greer Riverside. Winter go home starts next week, but we hope what we have is a compelling ending to the regular season here tonight. Porter the backdoor cut. He's hit. We'll go to the line with a chance to tie.
And that's the second successful backdoor. We've seen them really pass that a lot tonight, and they've been somewhat successful with it. So
that's where that play's going the entire time. They just isolate Porter on the backside. When the defense turns his head, he goes, and Small with another assist on it. And we're tied.
We haven't really seen this game or either team really grasp momentum, go on these long, drawn-out runs. Every team or both of these teams have done excellent jobs just silencing the other team once it looks like the other is going on a run. So we're going to have to see. Maybe that was a little spark that this Wildcat team needed to start the second half. But we've already got a foul. To see if this is on.
Second foul, I believe, on Jaden Sanders underneath it was. Whistle away from the ball. And a sloppy turnover there. Camden Crummy had snuck into the basketball game from Fort Dorchester. As you can tell, Thomas McElveen in his third season at Fort Dorchester. Still a high school grad. You can tell he's worried about the foul trouble on the bench. He's trying to get some fresh legs on the floor and save some guys.
And he is not happy about that turnover. Not something you see often from this Fort Dorchester team. They are very disciplined. And a play like that really goes back to their chemistry as well. They have such great chemistry that they do such a great job of knowing where each person is going to be, where they're going to move next. But that play, Joyner threw that ball to absolutely no one.
Small forced it up, and West Ashley fortunate to keep it on that miss. It was a 14-point lead when these two teams met at halftime for Fort Dorchester 2 weeks ago. Tonight, not the case. Tied with 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Now, wouldn't this upset, if this were to come to fruition over the next 14 minutes and 50 seconds, resonate across Region 7 and Region 8 5A? Fort's so talented, so athletic. Small goes to work. West Ashley leads. The lefty had the angle and he finished it.
Just such a smart play too by Smalls, really taking advantage of that left side. He got one step on his guy and really took advantage of it, taking it all the way to the basket.
What a get by McKelvey there just to make that catch, and it'll stay with Fort Dorchester off the miss. Nice catch in traffic. On the other end, Small was aggressive. McKelvey couldn't be because he's got some fouls.
Exactly.
Pick up the third quick when you're back on the bench.
Let's take a look. Yep, got the great angle on McKelvey.
Joyner baseline, got off the ground, finished it, and they say count it. Sanders' help came too late, and Fort with a chance to retake the lead.
Yeah, they weren't getting that charge that time. Sanders coming in just a little too late. Great idea though, but better offense by Joyner. And this is a guy who can really take control when they need him to. We saw it on the other end in the first half when offense wasn't really clicking. None of his guys were really moving around for him, and he knows when to just take it himself.
Omar Green, after a long absence, back into the game. Backing down is McPherson, and he scores.
Yeah, McPherson definitely had the size advantage right there. Smart play by him to really use his body and get an easy bucket for his team.
Baseline, Small, swatted away by McKelvey. Porter had his team's first 8 points as a bucket here in the second half. Only score in double figures right now. Needs help.
And something looks a little different about this defense for the Patriots. They all look a little more dialed in. That could mean trouble for this Wildcat team.
Porter the head fake, drew the contact, couldn't get it to go. Vasco couldn't get the tip. And West Ashley will have another crack at it.
And that was a lucky play if you're McKelvey, because he got up high on his feet.
Camden Howard found space, but he never looked to score. Mungeon looking to go. He'll use the small screen. Bumped off of it. Attacks. Couldn't get the call, but it'll stay with West Ashley. Man, they are letting them play.
They really are. I think I heard that slap all the way over here on the sideline.
Hands, shoulders. Whew. Not an NCAA tournament game, but being called like one right now. Regardless, it's been balanced. As is with a 2-point game. Under 5 minutes to play third quarter.
We've got Clyburn over here alone in the corner.
Small.
Smalls, that's connected. I was looking at Clyburn. He was looking like he was silent in the corner waiting for the ball, but hey, Smalls, take it.
Smooth stroke from Sicarius Smalls.
That's their Mr. Do It Everything, according to their head coach. He looks to get everyone involved, but hey, get yourself involved.
He has 5 here in the third quarter, 7 in the game. McKelvey, whoa. How about that turnaround?
And that's a good way to silence those students over there.
Almost Bernard King-like right there, parallel to the floor. Still got it to go.
How is that possible is my question. Yeah, he said count that one. I don't blame him.
I think Scotty Eisberg might reuse that replay tonight.
I'll have to make a note.
McKelvey with the Will Lou Gray Opportunity School free throw, no good. And Fort still by a point. Midway point, third quarter. Lungen has it knocked away. Now we'll go to work. Camden Howard just basically being dared to shoot. Foul away from the ball. Taven McPherson called for the foul away from the ball. Fort Dorchester being tested at West Ashley. Jaleel Porter and Zacharias Smalls. Wildcats are putting up a fight. Midway point of the third quarter, Fort Dorchester by 122-21 over West Ashley, and what a difference 2 weeks make.
A huge difference, clearly, and this is an interesting one too, because you're assuming other teams will look at this game and whether or not the Wildcats come away with a victory, they got to look and say, hey, they're really putting together some kind of blueprint in order to really find an answer to this big talented athletic team that are the Fort Dorchester Patriots. So it's going to be interesting.
Quick three in the corner is no good. It looked like McKelvey went up through maybe the rim to get the rebound, but I think the ball was off the rim. This one's interesting.
Yeah, let's take a look. I don't believe it was very much off the rim, but the way he went up to go get it is he kind of pushed it kind of over the rim a little bit. And
that's an interesting one, and it would technically, I think, be just Fort Dorchester ball, and I think that call is right. I think it was an air ball or just off the front of the rim, and as he went up, he got a piece of the rim. Now, if the ball was on the rim, that's goaltending. But as it's off the front.
Yeah, and we're not ESPN over here. We don't have the 6 different camera angles, but you can kind of tell from this angle the ball is in front of the rim a touch, but just the way McKelvey went up to grab it.
And it looks strange because he almost tipped it in.
Exactly.
So they got that right. Good job by the officials getting together on that one. Or did they give them credit for the 3? They did.
Yeah.
So I think they are going to go to goaltending. They're still discussing. I didn't see him count the basket. I thought I saw one official wave it off.
That's interesting. Yeah, let's take a look one more time.
That's a big call in this game. Now, technically,
yeah, you can see his hand kind of move forward there.
You know, technically, it's his hand hitting the front of the rim would be goaltending if the ball's on the rim.
Right. I don't think I've seen anything like that this year.
I don't know if I've ever seen that with it off the rim like that. McKelvey trying to get it back. Nice job by McPherson keeping it alive, and he's fouled.
A good effort from both sides there, but even better by McPherson grabbing that one.
The key to this game is going to be that front line of West Ashley. It's going to be Smalls. It's going to be Howard. Can they hold up against this relentless athleticism from McPherson and McKelvey inside?
And it's also going to be for Dorchester staying, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess staying disciplined and using their bodies to their advantage, but knowing when to not be too aggressive, because we've seen them get in foul trouble in that first half because of it.
Nearing the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. West Ashley right now leads one of the top teams in the state, Fort Dorchester. Off the mark is Lee, and the rebound inside McKelvey.
And West Ashley is very lucky because McKelvey was all alone trying to grab that rebound.
Just lost it out of bounds on the baseline, and not a good spot in front of that student section to lose control.
Crowd's making him have it.
Can West Ashley do enough from the perimeter? Smalls reloads again and connects.
Why not?
Fort just keeps sinking. Steal by Mungin in the background, in the backcourt. Up with it. Smalls, can he stay hot? Rims off. Porter can't collect it. McKelvey, a strong rebound.
This place would have erupted if that was the case.
Largest lead for West Ashley, and Thomas McKelvey will call the timeout and has to talk about it. He is not happy with his Patriots. What adjustments do you see?
You know, I'm trying to think of them. Let's take a look at this last three, though, too. But McKelvey sagging off perhaps just a little too much. I mean, you don't expect the big guy to shoot, but I say the big guy, but Smalls really plays a 3 of 4. So you got to expect him to maybe put one up, especially since that was his second shot. He's already made one from that exact spot, so you got to at least show a little bit more that you're going to play some defense on him. But credit to Smalls for really having that great basketball IQ to pull the trigger when he knew his defender was a little too far.
There were 3 keys to the game Thomas McElveen gave me pre-game today when we had a chance to talk for 10 or 15 minutes of visit. He said complete game, not going to happen because of where they are right now. Make shots. They haven't done that to this point. Still have a chance for redemption. But they have made these West Ashley guards uncomfortable. And their defense has kept them into the game to this point. Step back jumper from Joyner trying to settle him down. Can't connect. Well, Maddox Clyburn has not scored much tonight, but boy, has he stuffed the stat sheet.
He sure has. And that's what you got to do when your shot's not falling. You find other ways to make an impact, and he sure has done that tonight.
And he's going to wake up tomorrow morning with some bruises. Smalls, will he keep firing? Goes to work. Porter puts it on the floor. Mungin resets.
We need to see some movement. Yep.
And
They got him under 5 seconds.
5-second count on Mungin. He just kind of lost concentration there. He got a little separation, but didn't get the benefit of the break.
And his guys really got to help him out there, too. There were 5 guys out there, all in white, and not one of them was moving. So your point guard's going to do something, but he needs some help as well.
This was just a good old-fashioned tough playground game right now. Low scoring, every point earned. Slapped away, but kept by Fort Dorchester. Geddes and Howard inside are in a war. McKelvey able to score plus the harm.
And he let the crowd have it, too. I don't know if he blew them a kiss or something, but just a strong take.
With Camden Howard hanging on him.
Oh, yeah, he's letting them have. Oh, there it is. That's the kiss.
Dimitri McKelvey in double figures with 10. And another Will Lou Gray Opportunity School free throw. A rich tradition of individualized learning. Off the mark. The free throws have been crucial, and neither team has shot them well in this one.
They really have, and for a game that's this close, where it could very well come down to who can make it at the stripe, then this isn't good for the Patriots.
Final minute of the third quarter.
These two have been fun to watch all night. Capers and Mungin.
Porter with Lee in front of him. West Ashley's trying to hold for the final shot, but they need to break the 5-second count.
We've got McKelvey back in with 3 fouls. But they also need him in to rebound, so.
Smalls not getting any space. Will Mungeon go? Smalls on Geddes. Geddes has 3 fouls. The backdoor set up again. Porter traveled. Shuffled his feet on the baseline. They set up the backdoor again. Needed to make that one extra pass as the help defense came.
It was such a beautiful pass too. I'm surprised that it keeps making it through, but they know exactly where to put it in. And this Patriots team has not made the adjustments to prevent them from making that pass. I think they're 2 for 4 on it and completing it.
Half-court heave from Capers, up and over the backboard, and Fort Dorchester will head to the 4th quarter trailing at West Ashley. Well, we saved the best for last, final installment of the QFS Transportation High School Hoops driven by Cruz Chevrolet. And West Ashley with a 3-point lead after 3 quarters. And Dimitri McKelvey a kiss on Valentine's weekend for the West Ashley. West Ashley fans, plenty to cheer about right now.
I was going to say that word for word. Lots to cheer about. And we were just talking, too, in the break that I am pleasantly surprised by this game as well.
You know, we made the joke at halftime about West Ashley students coming ready to do work, and their Wildcats have done just that.
Exactly. And what more could you ask for at that point?
Fourth quarter, one of the top teams in the state. They trail. Fort Dorchester down by 3, but they have the ball to start this quarter. Fort's been much better here in the second half about fouls. One of their team leaders, McKelvey, comes up short. He's in double figures now with 10. Good look for Capers. Also short. Oh, look at that fight for the rebound. It is just a war. Geddes avoids his 4th foul. 3 is off the mark, and a foul called underneath.
And we've seen this Fort Dorchester team really be able to take advantage of just 1 quarter. Sometimes that's all they need, and it's really what they're going to need in this game specifically in order to take home a victory.
Kelby shaking off something on that left hand. Standout football player, big-time wide receiver, headed to North Greenville College. Had Division I opportunities. Still may very well end up at that level. But right now, at least for the next month, his heart is completely focused on trying to help this Fort Dorchester basketball team make a run at a state title. 2 senior basketball teams. Again, Fort Dorchester started 5 seniors tonight. Their time is now. Lee back out to Capers. Capers he's had all sorts of room to operate, can't get free from Mungeon. Lee collects it. West Ashley really packing that zone in.
They are, and this is a side of Fort Dorchester I haven't necessarily seen this year. They're very much a push it and go team, but they've done a great job of pulling it out, trying to run something, getting a lot of guys involved here. But West Ashley, you got to rebound at this point. This is a very long possession, and you don't want to play defense for over a minute over here.
Fort's had the ball for almost the first 90 seconds of the quarter, and it ends in a steal. Porter took it away.
We've got Smalls alone here. Geddes found him.
Lee gambles, knocks it away. Mungeon saves it, probably didn't need to. Nice hands there by Daniel Lee, the senior. Been quiet tonight offensively after 13 against West Ashley. Pardon me, Ashley Ridge on Tuesday night. Still looking for his first points, but contributing defensively. It's not really a zone, it's more of just a really heavy sag man.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing as well.
It was definitely a zone in the first half, but they've swapped it up a little bit.
Whatever it is, it's given these Patriots problems. 2 turnovers in the last 2 possessions.
Smalls penetrates. Good look. Brown open 3 off the mark. Porter.
And he is swallowed up.
No one around when he
Patriots.
got the rebound. Yeah, and then really crowded out. Brown has it rejected. McKelvey in the open floor. Lee fouled. Not a bad foul there as McKelvey running at half court. He wanted to point to the rim. He wanted the lob.
And that is the team's shot blocker, and for good reason. Probably the tallest guy out there on the court right now. Him and Smalls, they look pretty similar in terms of height. But he can jump.
Would like to see Wes Ashley there. I'd like to see Brown pull up, and instead of taking the jumper, you head fake and then you pass around it.
Yeah. Patience is something that not many guys have, especially at this level, but
The shot blockers come flying, and Porter had the chance to do it earlier on the backdoor cut. It'll be an one-on-one opportunity for Lee unless they say he's shooting. It'll look like it was before the shot, bump was, and they will say one-on-one.
foul is already moving to be an issue in this quarter. The student section has been very unforgiving tonight, early in the second half for this Patriots team.
1 of 2 for Lee at the line. Small just basically pushed off the floor by Geddes. Just wore him out. Just kept pushing him to the sideline. Small lucky, and the Wildcats lucky to keep possession. Good defense there.
And a small thing, but I really love everyone coming over to get their guy Clyburn off the ground. He really saw 3 Wildcats run over and get him, and just the little things right there that you want to see from the team.
He has been Mr. Hustle tonight for the Wildcats. We wind toward the 5-minute mark. 2-point game, low scoring affair here at West Ashley High School. Smalls tripped and fouled. Game's just frenetic and spastic, and just, it has not been cleanly played. Every handle of the ball has been a challenge.
Yeah, and both teams, I mean, it shows how much they want it. They don't care that this is the last game of the regular season. They want to go out finishing this season in the best possible way. So from a coach's standpoint, I mean, you love to see that, because especially if you're Fort Dorchester, we've talked about their impressive record already this tonight, 20-1. They could easily be just looking at the playoffs, not caring about this game, but they're here to win it.
Inside, Porter finds some space and able to get it to fall. Nice execution there out of the inbounds play. And back to a 2-possession lead for West Ashley. Backdoor cut Lee, and he's wrapped up and fouled. Almost the perfect form tackle there by Maddox Clyburn. Lee will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
And this was something
Porter,
that,
what a strong finish. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. This was something that Snyder had really emphasized to both me, speaking earlier this week, that he has installed so many just inbound plays, zones, defenses, that it's a lot to learn from these guys, but you saw something perfectly executed right there. That's why I know he's smiling over there on the sideline after that play.
Back to a three-point game, but 18 fouls now on West Ashley, so Fort going to shoot more or less 2 down the stretch. One more 1-and-1 for the Patriots. We had a frenetic ending to the girls' game before this one that led to a wild celebration for Fort Dorchester, and you kind of feel like the energy's headed in that direction for this one as well, and a foul called inside off the miss. And they'll walk to the other end and shoot a 1-and-1 again, will Fort Dorchester. This is everything a rivalry should be about. Shouldn't they shoot?
No, I think they, yep, now we're making the walk.
Everything a regular season finale should be, everything a rivalry should be.
Right.
Great crowd, good atmosphere on a Friday night.
McLevine even mentioned to us before the game, I expected this place to look and sound a whole lot like Cameron Indoor.
Why not start Valentine's weekend with your rival you love to hate? Omar Green too strong with it. Porter ahead, knocked away from Junior Wilson.
Now we don't have any official stats over here, but I'd very much like to see the free throw percentage from both sides, but definitely Fort Dorchester, because they have struggled this second half.
Can I be honest?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Maybe if I head coach Thomas McLevine over there, I would want to see it.
Smalls lost control of it. He's had success one-on-one, but that time just lost his footing, lost it on the baseline. And Fort just keeps hanging around. Every time West Ashley pushes it to 3 or 4, it's just, I think this game's been played an entire, it was 16-10. That's the largest lead. Basically been played in a 6-point window. Another pushing foul and 2 free throws coming for Dimitri McKelvey. We are headed down to the wire. West Ashley has one of the top teams in the state, Fort Dorchester, on the ropes. Final 4 minutes here at West Ashley High School. Well, we thought we were headed to a break and may have missed it here. Might take it after the free throw. Rims down on McKelvey. He'll have a second.
And that perhaps hit every inch of that rim, but did not go in.
Porter collects the second miss. Free throws, free throws, free throws.
And McKelvey visibly not happy after that.
Porter bumped by Lee and fouled. .341 remaining. West Ashley leads Fort Dorchester 29-26. Been a good one here at West Ashley High School. Is an upset in the making. Exactly what a regular season finale should be, down to the wire. West Ashley students yet to go home. They're here for the duration. West Ashley trying to pull off what would be the upset in the region at this point this season. Or Dorchester unbeaten to this point. They've claimed the region title. Both teams know who they'll play next week, next Wednesday. West Ashley travels to Wando. Fort Dorchester will host Berkeley. But right now, this one's...
I think this one's the only game on all of these guys' minds right now. Maybe?
It is absolutely about pride. Backdoor for Porter again. Blocked. McKelvey came to get it. That ball might have been on the backboard, but a big-time block by McKelvey. Joyner out of control and turns it over. Well, the athleticism on both ends is just so impressive.
Oh my gosh, yes. Two of the most athletic teams here in the Low Country, and they are putting on a show for us tonight. And Joyner just out of control himself.
It's under the radar, but what Camden Howard, Maddox Clyburn, and Jaden Sanders have done defensively for West Ashley, 4, maybe 5 combined charges, and they've just been scrappy throughout. They have made the difference. Smalls nearly fell in bounds. Little change in the press, 2-2-1 here. Smalls, Mungeon. Mungeon's lost it on that sideline a couple of times and lost it again there.
And this is what Fort Dorchester is so good at. They're great at getting a team out of their rhythm. They are very disciplined when it comes to implementing that press, and we've seen it works. They
make you so uncomfortable. Omar Green's been quiet. Nice leave there for McPherson. Guess who? McKelvey. Oh, it rattled out.
Oh my gosh.
Halfway down, rattled out, and Porter's tied up.
And you're seeing some of these players are just starting to drop their head. They just don't understand how that ball doesn't go in. McKelvey took over that entire possession with the rebound and the putback, but the ball just very unforgiving.
This time West Ashley throws over top of the press. Five-second count on Mungeon, and Green took it away. Mungeon bumped him, Green finished it.
Wow. Now this is a play that Fort Dorchester desperately needed. Yes, to get them within a point of the Wildcats, but really just in terms of momentum.
Mungeon didn't rip it through, and the bump, but didn't knock Green off his line, and Green finished it. Now West Ashley, I think Mungeon's fouled out. I think that's the signal that he has. I think Ben Snyder objecting at the scorer's table. I think he feels like that was one extra step too many to be able to lay it in.
I might agree, but
where is West Ashley going to get offense? Their bread and butter has been the backdoor cut, which is Hill Porter. A couple of threes from Smalls, but that's been about it. Another missed free throw. Joyner kept it alive. Acrobatic layup, no good from Green, but he'll go back to the line.
And this needs to be a moment that West Ashley really looks at themselves and says, hey, calm down. And all of their coaches are they're calling for a timeout. Yep, and they're going to get one. But their guys really need to come together. I like that timeout. Really settle everyone down, because the Patriots, they want this maybe just a little bit more right now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game.
West Ashley needs a good offensive possession. Feels like forever since we've had a bucket in this basketball game. Outside of the Green finish and the McKelvey floater, it feels like it's been an hour.
And again, these are two teams that saw each other 2 weeks ago. Fort Dorchester put up 60 points. We're not even halfway to that. So it's been I guess the tale of 2 games between these two teams.
Neither team has been good at the free throw line. Could make the argument Fort Dorchester has really cost itself an opportunity to be up 5 or 6 right now with just a little more free throw consistency.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
But But still 151 seconds left in this one, and look, there's going to be plenty more opportunities at the free throw line.
I think so too.
West Ashley senior guard Brandon Mungin has fouled out. He's the point guard, so it's going to be by committee with Porter and Smalls the rest of the way.
And I think they'll be fine with the ball in those two guys' hands, but really the question is we need someone who can score. We saw Smalls get 2 threes so far in this game. He was really that kind of spark that this team needed when there was no offense. So we're going to need to maybe see that from him tonight. I know Clyburn is really their shooter. We've seen him all over the defensive end of the ball tonight, but again, really hasn't found his shot. A few air balls from him tonight, but definitely a guy that will still look to shoot when he gets that opportunity. So maybe he'll find one as finally this Fort Dorchester team, Omar Green, finds the basket with this free throw.
And Omar Green has quietly started to take over this game. Had the big bucket a minute ago, a couple of key steals. Really harassed Brandon Mungin out of the game. And he gives Fort Dorchester the lead back, and Porter turns it over. They just speed you up so much.
Yes. And credit to West Ashley that it really took them 3 quarters and 6 minutes in order to really get them out of their game. But so far right now, this is Fort Dorchester's game.
Green goes to work. Comes back to get it. Fort Dorchester back on top. They've scored the last 4 points. West Ashley's led by as many as 4 this half. Fort led by 6 at 16-10. It was in the opening moments of the second quarter. Haven't had a lot of scoring since then.
But still so much excitement.
And now it's almost a 100-second basketball game. Does West Ashley pull the upset? Does Fort find a way to stay perfect in the region? Green comes to get it. And the Patriots ask for timeout. And this is one of the unique moments in high school basketball. You don't have to go because there's no shot clock.
Exactly.
So you don't have to shoot if you don't want to.
So this clock is really going to start playing a role in the outcome of this game.
The other thing that's strange about it, if you do get to a point where you start trading buckets, Fort has struggled so much at the free throw line that there's an opportunity to get defensive stops at the free throw line. So when do you start fouling? And if you're Ben Snyder and you choose to start fouling now to try and give yourself more opportunities, you might come in with some fresh legs to commit the foul.
Then I think that with 1 minute and 23 seconds left in this game, that maybe now is your chance. Especially because we are seeing this Fort Dorchester team really come alive in grabbing those boards. They've really kind of upped the ante when it comes to crashing, when it comes to boxing out, when it comes to getting those second and third chance opportunities that so far tonight West Ashley has really been doing a great job at limiting those opportunities. But like I'd said, this momentum is kind of shifted just a touch over to Fort Dorchester. They look like they just kind of want this game just a little bit more. So it might be time to go into your bag of tricks if you're Ben Snyder.
McPherson comes to get it, no foul yet. How long will they wait? Will Fort go? That's the question. Porter closes down on Green. He breaks the 5-second call. Doesn't look like they are.
No, and we're
a little bit of 4 quarters, just kind of running away from West Ashley. Joyner.
less than a minute now.
Yeah, Green backs out. Now you have to pick and choose who you want to foul. 45 seconds left. How long will the Wildcats wait?
I'd say you go right now, but there it is.
So it'll be Tavion McPherson with 2 shots at the line. Camden Brown came to give the foul.
I'm not really sure what the game plan was right there for West Ashley. There's essentially 45 seconds that ticked off the clock there. I get it if you want the ball to be in a specific person's hands, but...
Good stroke there from McPherson, connects on the first of two. Six straight points for Fort Dorchester. They lead by 3. Smalls throws over it. Caden Brown didn't get enough space. Low pass to Smalls, and a timeout asked for by Ben Snyder. Opportune time to call timeout there too, because that one was getting away, I think, a little from Smalls.
Yeah. And it looked like they had tried to foul right there at the end, but I think they did get a timeout.
Where are you going offensively if you're Ben Snyder here in the final 30 seconds? Are you going 2 or 3, and where are you looking?
You know, I want the ball in Small's hands, honestly. He's, a game that has lacked offense both on the Patriot side and the Wildcat side. He's been your guy from the 3, and right now you need 3. So I think that's what makes the most sense to me. And this is a team that they're very, they run their sets, they run them well. So he's probably going to his dry erase board right there, drawing something up for these guys.
25 seconds remaining. Fort Dorchester has scored 6 straight points, just trying to escape West Ashley tonight. Porter gonna go off the dribble, looking for the quick bucket. Caden Brown, tough 3, got it. And a timeout asked for by Fort Dorchester.
What a beautiful shot that was. We had a great angle, Zeke and I over here on the sideline, and that looked money the second that left his hands.
Didn't see what happened behind the play, but the West Ashley coaches came off the bench really quickly. But Porter attacks, flips it on the handoff to Brown, and Brown
just ice in his veins when his team needs it most.
Second 3 of the game. And we are tied with 11 seconds remaining.
Now what do you do if you're Fort Dorchester?
Whatever you do, you're getting the ball on the rim as quick as you can, and I think you're giving your McKelvey and McPherson opportunities to go get the basketball one final time.
I'd imagine they'd attack the rim as opposed to putting up a shot.
The 5 West Ashley has on the floor, they don't really have the guard outside of maybe Porter to grab it and go the length of the court with just a couple of seconds left. Mungin's fouled out, so he's not out there.
Right.
So if you're Fort Dorchester, I think you want to go almost as quick as possible, see if you can give yourself 2 cracks.
And you can see the coaches over there. Don't foul from the West Ashley bench.
Green, Joyner, McKelvey, Lee, and McPherson for Fort Dorchester. 12.5 seconds remaining. Green gets a screen from McKelvey. Back to Joyner. McPherson, top of the key. It hit the support after it hit the rim, and it's out of bounds, and West Ashley will have 1.2. Ben Snyder's going to use a timeout here, see if he can set up something to throw maybe over top of the press. And if I'm guessing, if I'm a head coach and I have 1.2 remaining, I already know what play I'm going to if I'm using that timeout in that situation.
I think so too. You'd have to imagine that it's your guy who just got them back into this game.
Any chance the quarterback's over there on that West Ashley bench? This is his time. Fort Dorchester trying to finish out a perfect season in Region 8-5A. They're the top seed in next week's tournament. West Ashley will play at Wando next Wednesday night in next week's region tournament, but a successful first season under Ben Snyder. 12-7 overall, and this would be the cherry on top.
You'd have to imagine, excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off, that very much a successful game for West Ashley tonight, regardless of course, they want to come away with the victory. But
he'll be proud, but there's only one way this one tastes sweet.
Right, exactly.
Porter will inbound, McPherson will guard him. Just 1.2 remaining, so catch and shoot's about all you got. Porter looking deep, they cleared out, overthrew Small, and now Fort will get it at the other end of the floor. They got the isolation they wanted. Everyone came running forward, and now Fort Dorchester will ask for a timeout, and they'll set up an inbound play.
Oh gosh, and that is worst case scenario if you're the Wildcats. They're lucky there is 1.2 seconds on this clock. But still, let's take a look. I mean, great pass if you're on the football field for sure.
I can tell you, Porter might throw a pass next year at VMI after seeing that on.
Especially since Mungeon is the QB for his team.
Yeah, Mungeon's fouled out. And now you have to think that some sort of a back screen, something to try and get McKelvey free on a lob.
Yeah.
Or a good look for maybe Omar Green coming off that screen. Camden Howard, Jaden Sanders, those guys have the toughest assignments on the floor right now. Maddox Clyburn, they're the one defensively that just absolutely has to chase. Smalls guarding McKelvey. Joyner to inbound. It'll be a deep three from Lee to win. No, off the mark. We will play on at West Ashley.
He thought that was in too, and I don't blame him.
32 exhilarating minutes. And Fort Dorchester will have to work an extra 5 to remain perfect in the region. Beg your pardon, 4.
There we go. It's okay. I think we need 4 too. I know I need 4. I don't know if I could do an extra minute. This has been an intense one, and of course we're not out there playing like these guys.
That Mungeon foul out becomes so much larger here in overtime, playing an extra 4 minutes. What an atmosphere to close out the regular season. West Ashley tough the whole way through. Fort Dorchester resilient and relentless.
And I'm not so sure these Patriots expected this from the Wildcats. I know you got to focus on one game at a time, not do too much thinking about how the last time you saw a team, but just 2 weeks ago they beat this team by 14 points. It was over by halftime, essentially.
Overtime on our final installment of QFS Transportation High School Hoops, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. What will it hold? Fort Dorchester controls the tip. Still a sag man, West Ashley daring the Patriots to shoot from outside. Green trying to penetrate. Joyner to the baseline. Boy, they just pack it in.
They sure do.
Green the pull up. Too strong, McPherson. Tough rebound, put it in and got the basket. He'll go to the line, try to complete the three-point play. Tavion McPherson. just long inside, just a little too much on that low block for Jaden Sanders.
Exactly. Just a who wants it more play, and McPherson coming away victorious in that matchup, but you got to box out. At the end of the day, get your position on your guy, but oh my gosh, this unforgiving rim continues to be an issue.
Can Smalls and Porter find enough points? Smalls looking to go to work. Hand off. Caden Brown fouled. It was a tough shot anyway. Green really didn't need to challenge it that closely. He's going to put Caden Brown at the free throw line. And Brown, I won't say he's automatic, but 89%, pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. He has the chance to put his guys on top by 1.
Well, I jinxed him. It's the old broadcaster jinx. Well, whoever gets this QFS Transportation High School Hoops trophy tonight, they're going to earn it.
They are going to earn it.
Brown good on the second. He had the clutch 3 to tie it late. A couple of empty possessions in the final seconds by both teams. And just 2 of 3 for Caden Brown, who had been 1 of 3 for Caden Brown, who had been 89% on the season. When that defense packs, there's just nowhere for Dorchester to work inside of 15 feet, and a foul called away from the ball.
They do a very good job of rotating and rotating off the ball too on that weak side. That even if they wanted to skip pass it over there to the open guy, they do also a great job of just recovering. That takes discipline, that takes hard work.
It's the first kind roll we've seen tonight.
I think if anyone's earned it, it's this guy at the line, because he has been hearing it all night from that student section, and again, that rim has been rough for him.
Lane violation called on the second one, and Fort back on top by 2.
I always think it's interesting when we see a lane violation and players throw their hands up like, what? I didn't do that?
Brown needs help. And Snyder, the quick timeout. Not a bad quick 30-second timeout there. So where does the offense come from if you're Fort Dorchester, or if you're West Ashley? Caden Black has the one, field goal in the last 5-6 minutes of game time?
And yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to come up with an answer too, because the reason they're in this game tonight is because of their defense. I mean, they've scored 33 points tonight, and they've limited Fort Dorchester to 35. So in terms of an offense, I mean, I'm stumped. I want to say give it to your guy that can shoot it, but I mean, maybe just attack.
Smalls had a tough time getting by on the dribble. Maybe try to get Porter on another backdoor cut. Maybe make the extra pass as the defensive help comes. They might work him with a high ball screen here. Small left wing. McKelvey has really made it tough on him tonight, even though he has double figures. Porter kicks for Black. That was a spot he made one from a minute ago, missed that one. Wouldn't be surprised if West Ashley comes back to that.
And I think if one thing does work well for West Ashley on offense is getting everyone involved on the play. Move the ball, get some inside-outside movement to force Fort Dorchester to make decisions on who to guard, moving their feet, and that's really where they've seen their success tonight in terms of scoring.
And Fort really just taking the air out of the basketball right now. And I don't mind what Thomas McElveen's doing right here, because you just don't feel like West Ashley can score offensively. So
Right.
shorten the game as much as possible.
Just keep it up top, yeah. Do some swapping. Ooh.
Dangerous pass there from Joyner. Down to 1:15 to play and a foul called. Camden Howard tangled up in the feet of Green. A couple thousand in the building tonight, and I don't think anyone has left, and there's only a couple sitting down right now.
Yeah. We got the environment these teams needed for this game and what we expected for this game.
Green, nice stroke on it there.
Now this is Mr. Clutch because he hit the 2 to go into overtime. And again, not an easy spot in the gym to shoot some free throws.
2-possession lead. Porter, nice head fake, got free.
Nice.
Made the layup. Nice finish in traffic there by Jahil Porter.
And I like that patience. Again, we mentioned it a little earlier. It's not something you see. Guys are so quick to just go up when they see themselves have an open shot, but I like the patience. Collect yourself a little bit, wait for the defender to fly by you, as McKelvey did right there, and then go up for an easy 2.
Have to think right now, Fort Dorchester still just thinking 4 corners. Wait for the foul to come. And I want Omar Green at the free throw line.
Do you put some pressure on Fort Dorchester if you're West Ashley?
I don't think you want to give up that full court opportunity, maybe a transition opportunity or scoring opportunity, but it's not a bad idea. You might need a turnover. You might need something to spark your offense. You might need defense to offense, because it has been so tough in the half court for West Ashley tonight. This is as good as a high school basketball game can get. 2 really good teams, one with state title hopes, and in their final test of the regular season, being pushed to the limit.
And I have to say, we've seen great games all throughout our 6 weeks of high school hoops, but can I say we may have saved the best for last? I think it's safe to say at this point.
Little token pressure from West Ashley. Will they try to trap in the half court? There's the steal. Black all the way, had it blocked. Clyburn drills the 3 and West Ashley leads. Defense to offense, Maddox Clyburn's first points of the night.
And this is a team that's quick to answer if you're the Patriots, so we'll have to see, especially when the ball's in Joyner's hands.
Lita answer, and he was fouled.
Whoa.
What a turn of events.
Let's take a look. I mean, a great defense, just better offense. It was a great closeout by Clyburn, I believe that was.
Natalie, you were absolutely right. Defense to offense for West Ashley and Fort Dorchester. Just an unbelievable answer. What a stroke from Daniel Lee at such a key moment. And a 4-point play.
Oh my gosh. A cherry on top of that.
Now West Ashley needs a 3. They'll probably take a quick score if they can.
You're gonna need to. We've got 18 seconds left. Down 3.
And a 5-second call on Jahil Porter, and Ben Snyder can't believe it.
I think he wanted a timeout. I think they all were looking for a timeout. And they're not gonna get it, it looks like.
It wasn't suffocating defensive pressure, but just enough to keep the count going.
Now that's
And now
huge.
West Ashley needs a turnover or a quick foul. McKelvey back to Green, running time off, and Porter
There's
chases him
that
down.
foul. And if there's someone you want on the line, it is not this guy. He has been Mr. Cool, calm, collected tonight from that free throw line. Thomas McLevine sweating for good reason over there.
Green short. One possession game for the moment. Got the one he needed. West Ashley needs 2 scores.
Huge. You gotta get it and go.
Black forces it up, comes up short, put back by Smalls is good, but it doesn't matter. Fort Dorchester, relentless and resilient. They win in overtime, 42-40 over West Ashley. And they finish the regular season perfect in Region 8-5A.
And hats off to both of these teams. What a performance.
Ben Snyder's team was up to the task tonight, but in the end, Fort Dorchester just too relentless. The Patriots escape West Ashley and win in overtime. Fort Dorchester still celebrating after a 42-40 overtime win over West Ashley on the road. The Patriots perfect in Region 8-5A. Coach Thomas McLevine join us now. And Coach, my goodness, do high school basketball games get any better than that?
Man, hey, for some reason, man, a lot of our games be like this. It's just, I mean, it's an exciting game.
Exciting basketball game, and congratulations, perfect in the region. And is this the kind of test you needed to close out the season? Is this the kind of test to get you ready for next week?
This is exactly what I need. West Ashley is a very good team, very well coached. I didn't understand the whole issue with the coach getting an attitude with me saying poor sportsmanship. I don't know what he's talking about. My kids might have done some things that they shouldn't have, but if you was watching, you saw me getting my kids. I don't understand what he's upset with me for. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, everybody gets upset, heat of the moment. But what really needs to be celebrated here is just Really a fantastic basketball game. Walk us through the final 30 seconds of overtime. I mean, huge three on one end for West Ashley as Caden Black connects, and then you couldn't do anything from outside most of the game, but Daniel Lee makes the one that counts.
Hey, that's our team, man. We make the shots when it's needed to be made, and I'm proud of those guys. They fought all the way through. I told them West Ashley wasn't going to lay down to the number 2 team in the state. That they wanted to beat us, and I don't expect anything else from anybody. I mean, I don't expect nobody to lay down for us. I expect them to give us their best, and that's what we got tonight. West Ashley played a heck of a game, and they shouldn't be upset in that locker room. I mean, it's a game that somebody had to lose. They came down the wire. They hit a 3 to tie it to go in overtime. It was a very good game, so they don't have nothing to hang their head down on.
Everybody's gunning for Fort Dorchester in the next couple of weeks. What are you telling your team right now?
Stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. Control what you can control, and do what we tell you to do. A lot of times, our guys they want to play their game, and they don't listen and do things like that, and they make it a whole lot harder if they just stay coachable. That's why I tell my guys all the time: stay coachable, control what you can control.
Coach, congratulations. Great basketball game today, wildly entertaining, and good luck in the next month.
Hey, real quick, though, y'all owe me another one. This is my second time. I'm defeated on TV. So I need one more. I need one more trophy because we beat Goose Creek. We beat Goose Creek, so I need that one for beating Goose Creek, too.
One for each hand. Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy your evening.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Fort Dorchester guts it out in overtime tonight. They top West Ashley on the road. 42-40 the final. Daniel Lee plays the hero. Key shot at the end of the game. He's the QFS Transportation Player of the Game. His 4-point play propels Fort Dorchester to a perfect season in Region 8-5A.
Just a guy who can make the shot when you need him to make the shot, and that's exactly what he did tonight, and why his team is walking home with a victory tonight as well. Well,
if you missed any of this one, you can catch the highlights later tonight on the 11 o'clock news. Scott Eisberg has plenty to work with for Natalie Spalla. I'm Zeke Beam. Thanks for joining us tonight. You got everything you asked for if you tuned in. Just a great high school basketball game. Fort Dorchester wins it 42-40. Have a good night, everybody.
It's like with a great yo, and I ain't gonna let it go to me, dog. Now picture me fall to the wayside where I can't slide to the point where it really in my face. I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy in my frenzy. It's me against that world, cause the world seems to be against me. I'm rolling, and they ain't gonna roll over me cause I'm going. Taking everything that I see and that's sold to me, you know it. You know that I'm gonna rise above, I'm showing.